Alright YouTube, let's get right into this. I'm not going to waste your time today because precious time might be all that we have left. Here are 3 ways that life can change completely as we know it or altogether cease to exist in 2022. Number 1 is the most plausible threat on this list, World War III. And it all starts with Russia. If you have not been following this story, I highly suggest that you do. Russia is currently primed and ready to invade Ukraine. Now this is a story that backdates decades, but the most recent developments in Russia is the threat that the bordering country Ukraine could one day join NATO. And in case you weren't aware of this, Russia is not a member of NATO. Should Ukraine join NATO, that would open up the doors for NATO and specifically the United States to bring weapons, troops, military supplies to Ukraine, which basically puts the United States right on the doorstep of Russia. Putin, among other things, wants legally binding guarantees that Ukraine will never be able to join NATO. In other words, the only acceptable resolution to this scenario is not possible and has already been shot down by the United States and NATO. This leaves Russia's only course of action to annex Ukraine via a full-scale invasion that they are already prepped and ready for. Now, the United States has already threatened very personalized sanctions against the leaders of Russia, and that includes Putin himself. Not only would these sanctions hurt the economy of Russia, but it would actually affect the bank accounts of leaders in Russia. So that is a very personalized and very dangerous sanction method by the US. Add in a deteriorating relationship with the West, again specifically the United States and China, and the fact that China and Russia are buddies, and what you have are the makings for a very messy global war. And let's not forget about another one of China's buddies, North Korea, who is currently test firing missiles again. Number 2 is also a very, very high likelihood scenario, a super virus. What aids this scenario is the fact that there is already a coronavirus with various mutants attacking the entire globe currently that has killed millions of people. And this coronavirus that is circulating the globe has the ability to create more mutations and more dangerous strains of itself. We could at any point in time be just a day away from discovering a strain that pretty much puts an end to the pandemic. We could also be at any point in time just moments away from discovering the most dangerous strain yet, a strain that could be way more deadly than anything we've seen out of viruses in human history. And number 3 on the list, the asteroid that we did not see coming. Just a few months ago, an asteroid the size of a Boeing 747 passed by Earth, and it was an entire day later before we even realized how close it came to hitting the planet. In other words, had this asteroid been closer, or had it come into our atmosphere and actually hit our planet, there would have been no warnings because we never saw it. Now, this particular asteroid was shielded from our view because it was coming from the direction of the sun, making it impossible to detect the light patterns and the reflections coming off of it. But this is not the only asteroid within the last decade. There's been numerous asteroids that have come close to contacting Earth that we did not detect until it would have been too late. NASA discovers new near-Earth objects all the time. They discover new asteroids all the time. That alone tells you that we don't know of all that is out there. So at any moment, it could be over and we didn't even know it was going to be over. So in the year 2022, let's just live every single day like it's our last and just live every day to the fullest, because maybe the next day could be our last. Or maybe we'll just find even better fulfillment in our life should it not be. And knock on wood, let's hope that none of these scenarios play out.